Everybody, it is Nicole, and I got tagged by Thriss from Thriss and Stitches in this like 25 Halloween questions. So anyway, I always like doing stuff like this just because it's fun and it's kind of a good way, a fun way to get to know one another. And so if you want to participate as well, you put your questions in, or if you want to tag me and you want to do yours and you're a content creator or whatever, go ahead and do so. I have no problem with that. Or put your answers to the questions in the comments below. So I'm good. Hopefully I got all the questions right, because I went through Thriss's video. You should head on over to her channel. She's one of the best people ever, so head on over to her channel and watch the same questions and her answers, so you can kind of, a fun way to get to know her too. So she tagged me, so here we go. So hopefully I got all of them. I wrote them down and watched the video, and so I hope you also will watch my video from beginning to end, and then also do that for her. Watch her videos from beginning to end, because that helps us as creators to get with the algorithm, to figure out what your suggestions are and all of that stuff. Okay, sorry about that. So all right, so here we go. Okay, first question. Favorite horror or Halloween theme song? So like, I don't know, the music that I listen to, I don't necessarily know what makes Halloween or horror. So the only one that I can think of off the top of my head is from The Nightmare Before Christmas, and This Is Halloween. And it's funny because my mother-in-law, that's like one of her most favorite movies ever. Then she, I think, has multiple copies of the movie, and then she has all these little figurines and stuff of Jack Skellington and snow globes and all of that stuff. So that's one of her favorite movies, or Halloween movies of all time, is Nightmare Before Christmas. And then she also loves Christmas to death, where I always joke with my husband that whenever we would go to her house at Christmas time, it looked like Santa Claus threw up in her house, because the whole house is fully, completely decorated from top to bottom. Tinsel everywhere, Christmas lights everywhere, where you could probably shut the lights off, the regular lights off in the house, and the house still be lighted all by Christmas lights. And she has a non-functioning fireplace, but she still has a mantle up. And so she normally has firefighter stuff, because my father-in-law is a retired firefighter, and so she takes all the firefighter stuff off and then replaces them with all Christmas themed items. And then I think she says she has 4 Christmas trees in the house. So one in the living room, one in the dining room, one in the kitchen, and one in the master bedroom. And they're all decorated differently. And then of course when Halloween comes around, that all changes too, but not to the extreme of Christmas. But yeah, anyway. Next question. So name something you wouldn't want to run into in a dark forest. Okay, so first off, I hate clowns, so that would be number one. And the second thing would be those porcelain dolls. I hate those kind of dolls. I don't know, I always think they're watching, the eyes are moving, and they're like watching you. But yeah, so those are the two things. Have you ever played with the Ouija board? Yes, I have. I think probably most people have. Although I do believe that you have to be very careful when it comes to things like that, because you just never know. It's not. I know that they sell them. I think Hasbro makes them, and I think on the box it says like this is a toy or something like that. But yeah, I have, and I think it was at like a slumber party or whatever. Anyway, favorite horror monster or villain. I don't know if I only recently started watching more like thriller types movies because I hated I don't like horror movies. So I guess if you were to go with maybe a villain, you could say like Maleficent or maybe Cruella de Vil. I don't know if that counts or not, but those are my two favorite ones. I don't know why, and they of course happen to be Disney related. And I'm talking about more like the iterations from way back when, like the cartoony stuff, when you're talking about like Sleeping Beauty and like 101 Dalmatians. Let's see, creepiest thing that has happened, that has ever happened while you were alone. Okay, so I remember once being at home by myself, and I was in high school, and my parents had this like nice stereo, and it played, you know, CDs and stuff, but it at one, like I think I was in my room and I knew the house was empty, and it came on, and music started playing super loud out of it, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Oh my god. And the music would not stop playing, and I'm like, there's like a remote and I'm trying to push it to shut off, and it wouldn't shut off, and because I'm freaking out because it's playing the music so loud, and my parents would never play the music that loud. And then I unplugged it, and then I could have swore that it came back on. And then another thing that has happened, so like Hawaii is super haunted, and so another thing is that I remember as a kid on the Big Island, so the island of Hawaii, visiting my grandparents. They owned a store there, and they lived in the city called Kauai High, and there was the store, and then they lived on top of the store. And I remember we were visiting, and where the store and the house was, were supposedly it was built on something called night marchers, and there's supposed to be like these like spiritual warriors, and if you hear the drums, you're supposed to get down on the ground and hide, and like, you know, and hide your face and don't look at them. And I could have swore when I was a kid, hearing the drums and then seeing like the torches, and that like totally freaked me out. So yeah, I've gone on ghost tours and stuff, so definitely seen some freaky stuff. Let's see, if you were dared to spend the night in a haunted house, would you do it? Yeah, because I most likely have. I think my mom's parents' house is haunted because I've heard and seen a couple of weird things at their house, because it's not super old but old. And then also with my dad's parents' house, where the one that was built over the store, I think is haunted. So it's not a big deal. Let's see. Are you superstitious? Yes, I am superstitious. I believe in ghosts. I believe in like all of that stuff. Like if you spill salt, I believe you do the whole throwing the salt over your shoulder, all of that stuff. So definitely superstitious. Do you ever see figures in your peripheral vision? Yes, I do, all the time. Shapes, shadows. Sometimes I see like what I think are people. Sometimes I think they're animals. But yes, definitely I see things in my peripheral vision. Next one is, do you prefer horror or thrillers? I prefer thrillers because I don't like all the gore and blood and all that stuff that come out of horror films. I think that is completely unnecessary. I don't like unnecessary blood and guts. I can deal with thrillers. So like I love the Conjuring movies. I'm fine with, I liked It. And this is all stuff that I've recently started watching. So I've seen La Llorona more than once. Of course, all the Conjuring movies I've seen more than once. The most recent iterations of It and It 2 I've seen more than once. And then of course I've seen like Us. Some of the movies like are really confusing as to why they're considered horror or thriller movies, but I don't know, whatever. Let's see. Do you believe in multiple dimensions or worlds? Yes, I do. I don't know why. I just do. Because why wouldn't there be? I don't know. It just makes sense to me as to why. Have you ever made a potion of any sort? As far as like if you're talking about like love potions or like those kind of things, no. I've never ever done anything like that. I don't think it's ever, mainly because I don't think it's ever good to dabble in those sorts of things, because you're just asking for trouble when you do that. Do you scare easily? When it comes to movies and shows, no. Or books, no, definitely not. When it comes to like stuff around the house, yes. Loud sounds, like jump scares, definitely. No. And the thing is I live with 2 boys plus my husband, and I am usually the one who is on the like receiving end of being scared. And I like get, somebody's hiding, behind a corner or a door or whatever it is, and they come jumping out and screaming boo or whatever, and I usually will scream at the top of my lungs, or I was like, oh my god, you just scared me, that type of thing. And of course they all get a huge laugh out of it, and I don't think it's funny at all. So anyhow, have you ever played Bloody Mary? Yes, I have. I think I've done it more than once. It was always like a whole like girls sleepover type of thing, but that has led to now, even to today, where I cannot look in the mirror or walk by a mirror when it's dark. So if it's nighttime or the lights are out in like the bathroom or whatever, no, I can't do that. Nope, I will not. It's like I'm doing this when I'm walking by the mirror with my eyes closed and everything, just so I don't see anything or whatever, because I don't know what is on the other side, because I have had too many times where I think I've seen something on the other side of the mirror, what if it's a thing or a person that's going to come out and get me. And then let's see, this one is, you are home alone and you hear footsteps. What do you do? I probably would shout, asking if it was like one of the kids or my husband. Otherwise, if nobody, like, I would have to first make sure that I was really home alone. You know, like, hey, is that you, or who's there, or whatever. And if I don't get a response, then yeah, I'm either in the bathroom with the door closed and locked, or hiding under the bed or something like that, or in the bedroom or in a closet or something like that, because I don't know, you know, who's in the house. So, and the thing is too, is I'm rarely home alone, and I don't like it when it's quiet. So if I hear footsteps, that means something is wrong. Do you believe in demons and the devil? Yes, I do. If there is a God or some, you know, whatever being you may believe in, a higher being, then why couldn't there be something that is on the other side of that? If you're, you know, thinking of somebody that is of the good side, then you would think on the other side, to balance that out, there would be that other side. So yes, if you got trapped in a scary movie, what movie would it be? Honestly, I'm not sure, because I wouldn't ever choose to be trapped in a scary movie. Maybe, I guess, oh, how about Interview with a Vampire? I like vampires, so, yeah, I guess, because they're real vampires, not like Twilight. I like Twilight, don't get me wrong, but that doesn't really count, because vampires don't sparkle. No, they don't sparkle, but I do love vampires. So if you consider Interview with a Vampire a scary movie, then that would probably be the movie, because I've never seen Friday the 13th or Halloween or any of those others. I haven't seen Chucky, because I have zero interest in seeing any of all of that gore and everything. That's not my thing, and I don't ever want it to be. And I guess maybe the other scary movie that I would be okay with is maybe Poltergeist, because I'm alright with kind of the supernatural, and the one that I saw, like the original one from like the 80s, I think I could deal with that to a point. So those would be the two. I don't know if that makes sense. Because like the original Poltergeist was actually a really good movie for when it was made. I hate the one that I don't like sometimes when they redo old movies. They just kind of ruin the whole like vibe of everything when they reboot crap. All right. If you had to choose one Halloween costume you had to wear for the rest of your life, so I'm assuming it's like for every Halloween, what would it be? Let's see. What would it be? Probably boy. I don't know. The last time I dressed up was like maybe in high school, and I was Sarah Sanderson from like Hocus Pocus. I made the costume, so I guess maybe that. That was a lot of fun. I bought the wig and I sewed her the skirt, and you know, did all of it. So I guess maybe that. Let's see. Next one. Would you ever go to a graveyard at night? Yes. I've done that. I've gone on ghost tours, and the ghost tours are done at night, obviously. And they have taken us to graveyards. We obviously didn't like completely go in, but I don't necessarily find it scary per se. So yeah, I would go. I don't see why not. In a zombie apocalypse, what is your weapon of choice? My weapon of choice would probably be maybe a machete, or a bat, like one of those metal baseball bats, like what they have in The Walking Dead. I don't know what his character is. He's the one that has the razor wire all around the bat, and I think he gave the bat a name, but that's what I would use, because then you don't have to worry about arrows or bullets or anything like that. Or a machete, you don't have to worry about having to have that extra, like where am I going to get that to refill in a zombie apocalypse. If I had to, if you have to choose between a Halloween party or trick-or-treating, what would you choose? I would definitely do trick-or-treating, because I do not do well in crowds and socializing. I have social anxiety, so I would much rather go trick-or-treating and say trick-or-treat to one person, and I'm out of there, and I get my, you know, whatever handful of candy, and then moving on. Plus I get free candy. So because at a Halloween party, what is the possibility you're gonna get anything? And parties as a whole aren't my thing. I'm not a party person. I'm a stay-at-home homebody, boring person. I'm not a social person. So next question. You're in a horror movie. Are you the final girl, which I'm assuming is the person that like comes in and saves everybody, the first to die, comic relief, the skeptic, the smart one, or the killer? When Thriss was going through this, the first thought that came to my head, in my like wacko head, is that I would be the killer, but no. I'd probably be the skeptic, because I always questioned everything, or the comic relief, because I deal with stressful situations with either dry humor or sarcasm. I do those very well usually. But yeah, so those probably the skeptic or comic relief. Next question. Do you have to watch something happy after a scary movie in order to go to sleep? No. I'm usually okay after I've watched like, you know, a scary movie, just because I feel like I can control the way my dreams are when I go to sleep. So like I already have PTSD, and so I already have nightmares on a daily basis or a nightly basis, nightmares and night terrors. So I have already trained myself to, or tried to train myself on how my brain works before I go to bed. So I usually try to put myself in that like thought space or thinking space before before it's time to go to bed, because then otherwise I may never ever get any sleep whatsoever, because I already get not enough sleep due to my PTSD. So no, I don't need something happy after a scary movie. While watching scary movies, are you the person screaming at the TV, the person with their eyes covered, or the one that falls asleep? I'm usually the one that is screaming at the TV, because I'm usually the one that's like, really you're gonna go that way? That makes no sense. Or what are you doing? What made what is your thought process behind any of those decisions, and what made you think that that was a good idea? That's the thing that's hard for me with like a lot of the horror movies, is that I know that they like have like these like certain characters that are filled like they had with Scream. They say, like, oh, there's this person and this person and this person in the movie, and so that's usually my thinking is that like, how is it that you're thinking that that's like a good decision? Or why would you, like, in real life you would never actually do this? And I know that it's not real life, that it's a movie, but then again, my husband, when we watch movies together, he's like, that would never ever happen, or that's so unrealistic, and I always get mad at him. I'm like, it's just a movie, just watch it. Of course it would never happen, it's fake. So yeah. Are you the one who gets scared, or the one being scared? I'm always usually the one being scared, because the thing is in this house is, if you scare somebody in the house, and usually it's my husband who does the scaring, and he's the one that has started this, and I don't know if this is the situation with some other people, or couples or families, but so like my husband will, like, he'll scare me and then I will get him back, and that's the thing. So how it works is if you get scared, you better watch out, because you're gonna get scared back, and most times you're gonna get scared back like 100 times worse than you got scared. So like, I think my youngest scared my husband, and I don't know if it was necessarily on purpose, but then my husband's like, oh, just you wait, you're gonna get scared back, and when you get scared back, it's gonna be way worse than you scared me. So that's usually how it is in this house. But 9 times out of 10, I am the one who gets scared and picked on, and just because I am like I'm mom, so duh, I'm the one who is gonna get scared. So yeah. Favorite scary book? I don't have a scary book, because I don't know what's considered a scary book. I've read a couple of like Stephen King books, but I didn't ever think that they were like scary, I read a lot of supernatural stuff, but I don't know if that's not necessarily like scary. I think like the last maybe scary book I read was It, and I don't know, I didn't think it was that big of a deal, so I can't really say. Because, and then I also read a lot of books that are like, what is it? Not sci-fi, oh, fantasy. So like, with vampires and witches and stuff like that. So I don't know. I guess you could say It, but it's not really like, it's not a genre of books that I read, so I can't really say with like absolute certainty that that's necessarily the right selection. So I don't know. I guess that's my answer. How old were you when you saw your first horror film? Hmm. I want to say probably recently, maybe within the last like 5 or 6 years, like maybe when I was in my late 30s, because it was something I just completely avoided. Was not a genre that I was ever interested in. So like right around like when the first Conjuring came out, that's the first like maybe thriller slash horror film that I watched. So whenever that was, so maybe 35 ish, which is pretty old. That's kind of sad. My first Halloween costume was, because that's what it is, so your first Halloween costume. So my first Halloween costume I was a ballerina, and that's only because I used to dance ballet. I danced ballet for 5+ years, this close to getting point shoes when I was, because I did ballet and I also did competitive swimming, and I had to choose between competitive swimming or ballet. And I think it ended up that I didn't get a choice. I was forced to do competitive swimming. But I did use my ballet outfit for one of our recitals as a Halloween costume, and it was I was in Swan Lake, so I wasn't like any of the main characters. So it was like this like powder blue like leotard sparkly top, and then powder blue tulle bottom, and I wore like my ballet slippers and put my hair up, and my mom did my makeup and everything. So yeah, that's what my first Halloween costume was. What are you going to be for Halloween this year? Fortunately, nothing. I'm not a big into Halloween. That's not really my thing. I'm happy to see my kids do their Halloween thing. So my youngest is going to be Goku for Halloween, so I've already got his costume. So yeah, so I'm not dressing up, sorry. Okay, so like I said, if any of you want to participate, you are more than welcome to do so. If you want to tag me, go ahead and do so. And I am going to tag Cassie from Nishcraft. Let's see, who else? Erin from Crafting Kitty, and who else? Who else can I tag? I should have wrote this down. Who else? You know what? I can't think of it. I'm not gonna just like sit here and like think about it forever. I'm just gonna put it in the description box, who I've tagged, and I hope you all enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun, and yeah. So if I would love to hear your answers if you want to answer any of them. And Thris did say if anybody was giving out yarn for trick-or-treating, yeah, if anybody's giving out yarn for trick-or-treating, I'm right there. I'll hold my bag open and you can put as many skeins and hanks and whatever in there as you can, and I'm bringing my biggest bag ever, like stuff it full. So all right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.